back everybody to another video for BangBox. Quite a bit has went on since the last video. I did post a little video of a loop that I made, so as you can hear, I am able to make some music. So just to get right into it here, I've added a project browser on the top left to quickly load and create your projects. I cleaned up the play, stop, and record panel here. It was looking a little crazy in the first video, so that's been taken care of. And I've made some preparations to the pad strip here for multiple functions when using COM ports, so just some things have been cleaned up around there. And when in pitch mode, we can now see the note that we're adjusting, although the actual values are being displayed wrong. And also same with the tuning. The tuning is actually off currently. Let's see here. We can display whether it's in sharp or flat, which whatever the key is. And I've added some mute and solo functions, although the information is being stored, it's currently not functional. I've added a MIDI learn button, or just the channel field. Sorry, I think the learn button was in the previous video. Let's see here. So if a sample does not exist, it will be displayed as orange. So if we are on a selected sample, and if it does exist, it'll be selected as light blue. And if a sample exists and we're not selected on it, it will be dark blue. So currently we are on sequence 5. And if we happen to be, like, say, selected on sequence 7, none of the reset buttons or anything like that will be working. They'll be disabled by default. And we can adjust the ADSR, the attack, decay, sustain, and release of a sample. And we can see how that would look. We get a sort of a live display. Sometimes samples take long to load, but we are getting a display here. And if these periods ever stop being animated is when you have to worry. So right now currently the program is working, and there we go, we get the display right there. And moving right along, I'm just going to disable this because it does take a little bit of RAM in the background to process that, and while you're playing you don't really want to be, like, if you're playing out a song or something, you don't want to be updating the waveform live, because it's just more of a chance that your sound is going to, like, crack or delay or something like that, although it shouldn't, but just in case, that's why I added the toggle there to either show or display it. And yeah, so where was I going here? We could record input from the pad strip here, although currently the pitch is giving me problems where it kind of deletes the whole line of information as pattern information, so I have to sort of compile the line to then write it to the file, and yeah, it's just giving me problems right now, so I can't currently record. And we do have a stem display that currently displays all of the stems for the patterns, and some of these patterns are from a previous attempt at this video, so I could actually show you how it would update. So if we listen to it, normally all you have to do is just listen to it once and it will sort of record the stem, but I just sometimes like to listen to it twice to make sure that it processes the whole waveform properly, I guess, although it's not really needed. And then we could just disable it, so we don't want to keep writing to the stem. And now that we've written our stem, we could see the display of where it's actually at and what it's named there off into the console. And we can do this for 32 patterns and 32 sequences, and those are being saved correctly. And now for the probably the most coolest part that I've just added in the last few days. We now have VST capabilities thanks to the VST plugin external, and I will have details for the author in the description of this video. Yeah, thanks to that external, we can now have access to all of our VSTs. I'll add a new one here. Let's say it, by default, our sequence starts off on sample mode. So if I click that button there, we are now in VST mode. And similar to how we set up our sample archive in the first video, we would click the cog, go to our VST plugins directory, and now you can see that I have access to all of my VSTs here. So I will add this one. Sometimes it takes a while for it to load the first time, but then after that it won't really give you a problem. It'll load much quicker. It's just the first time it seems to take its time. But yeah, we'll see some details here for the VSTI or VST populate, and there's the information there. So if yep, there we go, and there's a new VST that I'm able to use and hear the pattern from the sequencer. So if we might be able to actually hear that just off the bat, because I already had a pre-programmed sequence that I was working on in a previous video. So yeah, we should be able to. Oh, you can see like another bug here for because I recently added the VST capabilities. You can see that the sampler still thinks that we're working with a wave, so we get some negative values here. So that kind of gives me some problems when giving some playback. So we might not hear anything from this new VST that I just added, but we could hear it from hybrid. And you can see here that because I just closed hybrid right there and didn't click the hide, it holds the state of whatever I was on last for hybrid. So if I'm browsing around using just the navigation here, you can see that we're on sample mode for this sample, and it'll bring it back to the top because we didn't hide it from this button here. Yeah, so again, we have access to all of our VSTs. And I should mention that I know I have a lot of work to do with sorting like actual effects and synths, so that we could actually utilize that within the mixer. So that's something that I have an idea of how I could sort that out. So yeah, let's see here. I mentioned the stems, 32 patterns, and I think that is about it for the video, folks. Thanks for watching, and I will probably go into more detail about the truncating once I get into that. I still haven't touched that yet. So same as the song builder, I haven't touched that yet. So thanks for watching, and I will be having some more videos out soon. Peace out, everybody.